Hello, I'm Dennis Peterson, Superintendent of the Minnetonka Schools, and I've just completed my 9th year as Superintendent of this great district. I want to talk a little bit about the great year we just had in 2009-2010. We've completed some really important construction projects. We've added 32 classrooms to our capacity, which will enable us to hold more students and serve more students in future years. We've had an incredible increase in enrollment over the last 6 or 7 years, and it was culminated with enrollment last year when we climbed all the way above 8,400 students.
The correct response is 1 to 600 cubic! Cubic!
Our primary focus in Minnetonka, of course, is on the academic performance of our students. We've seen growth over the last 6 or 7 years has been pretty incredible, but nothing to match what's happened this past year. On the ACT, which is really a college entrance exam, we jumped an entire point on the ACT composite from 24.7 to 25.7 just this past year. Our students also perform incredibly well on the state's MCA test. We are number 1 in the metro on the reading test, and we're number 2 on science and number 2 on mathematics in the metro. So our students across the board are performing well.
Hi, I'm Cal Litzy, Chair of the Minnetonka School Board.
And I'm Pam Langseth. I'm a member of the school board, and we're here today to talk to you a little bit about what went on in the 2009-2010 school year.
One of the things that we have felt is important to do as a board is to establish some district goals each year. So for the past several years, what the board has done is gotten together in a retreat during the summer together with staff and identified what we think ought to be important goals for the district to focus on for the coming school year.
So in 2009, we set 4 goals. We set a goal to continue the work on the strategic plan. Secondly, to take a look at our fine arts department and to figure out how we can buoy that up to a new level. Third, we looked at ways to increase our ability to innovate and come up with innovative ways to manage the education business model. And finally, we had 4 new programs that we wanted to make sure that we continued developing. They were the response to intervention, language immersion, the new middle school model, and the Navigator program.
All of us on the Minnetonka School Board look forward to hearing from members of the community in a variety of ways. We try and outreach to you, but we welcome any and all of your individual views and communications either at the school board when we're meeting or if you want to contact us individually, either by telephone or email. We look forward to hearing from all of you.
I'm really excited to talk about student achievement here in Minnetonka. One tool that teachers use to really help inform our instruction is something that's called the NWEA. It's a standardized test that kids take both in the fall and the spring of the year, and we measure how much growth the students achieve. Most times you will see a school maybe improve 1 or 2%. Well, this past year here in Minnetonka, we had 9% increase of students achieving their growth targets. What that means to me as an educator is I get these tests back right away. I look at what skills are strong for students and what they might need more instruction on. We're able to target our lessons to best meet the needs of our students, and I really feel that that is why we continue to grow in our student achievement. The students receive instruction exactly where their readiness for learning is, and in the long run, their achievement improves.
For the 2009-2010 school year, Minnetonka Public Schools is in a very strong financial position. The district ended the year with a slight surplus of just over $400,000, and that has gone to strengthen our fund balance to prepare for future financial difficulties that may arise because of the difficult economic conditions. Over the past several years, we have worked very hard to save money in areas outside of the classroom. Over the past 2 years, we've been able to reduce our property and liability insurance from over $800,000 a year down to approximately $400,000 a year. We've been working very hard with our transportation program over the past several years to try to hold costs down. For 2009-2010, we were able to pay the same amount for transportation as we did in 2007-2008 because of competitive bidding and negotiating our contract with our transportation provider. We are always looking to manage our finances as efficiently as possible because any efficiencies and savings that we find results in dollars freed up to go to the classroom. This past spring, Moody's Investor Service improved the school district's bond rating to AAA, the highest bond rating possible. We are one of only 3 school districts in the state and one of only 70 in the whole country out of 15,000 school districts to have this high rating. It is a measure of our financial strength going forward, and we're going to continue to work hard to maintain our finances in such a manner that we continue to earn that rating.
One of our goals for the 2009-2010 school year has been on increasing student access to technology. At the high school campus, we've been able to do this by introducing a guest wireless network. This allows students to use their own laptops, smartphones, iPods, or other internet-enabled devices to be able to connect to Skyward, Blackboard, and other online learning resources in a safe and secure environment. At the elementary and middle schools, we've been able to increase student access to technology by using virtualization technology, implementing thin clients into classrooms and media centers for student use. The thin client technology is a lower cost, lower maintenance solution, allowing us to deploy many more computers in the field over a traditional desktop approach. Another focus goal from the 2009-2010 school year has been on standardizing our classrooms across E through 12, ensuring that all classrooms have an interactive whiteboard, a projector, and a sound field solution.
The first week after school ended, I went to Peru with my Spanish class to do a service project in a pretty poor school.
The kids down in Peru, they had shacks and we had to build them a library, and just knowing that we have computers and we have a library at our use, it just makes me so much more grateful for what we have. We painted it, we put books in it, we stocked it, we built the bookshelves, we built everything, we put everything there, and then we just played with the kids, we made them feel more comfortable, we read to them, we helped them, we made their lives a little different.
You know this kind of poverty exists in the world, but you don't believe it until you're right in the middle of it.
I think it's important for everybody to have an opportunity like this, because it really does make you look like a little bit different on your life. It makes you put things in perspective, like we have so much more than we actually think we have.
I learned just how appreciative these kids are of little things, because we brought them pencils to have in their classrooms, and they stormed around us to get those pencils because they didn't have any.
And I want to do more service projects like this. I want to make a difference in the world.
The 2009-2010 school year was a great year for us here in community education. It was our first full year occupying this brand new renovated facility here at the Minnetonka Community Education Center. With the $7.4 million project successfully behind us, our expanded spaces and additional classrooms were offered to the community, and the community took advantage of it. Increased programming and increased participation was the result. From our early learners, the ECFB and Minnetonka preschool population, on through youth enrichment and youth recreation, and up to our adult enrichment and exercise programs, participation really grew this year, up 8 to 15% across the board. On average, 87% of our respondents to our monthly course evaluation survey said they rated their experience in Minnetonka Community Ed as good to excellent. Talk to our participants, talk to our families, check out our wonderful facilities. You will find that Minnetonka Community Education is making a difference in families and in individual lives. I want to thank you for having a great year with us in Minnetonka Community Education.
We, of course, couldn't do this without the great students we have in our district. They take advantage of the opportunities we have, but they are terrific young people, and we're all blessed to have them in our classrooms. Our teachers are terrific. They've been carefully selected to be in Minnetonka, and they serve us well. Our support staff, administrators, and school board all do a great job of supporting what goes on in the classroom and helping produce those great results. And of course, we deeply appreciate the great support that we get from our community. Finances throughout the country, and especially in Minnesota, are changing dramatically. And we have to learn how to do better, do things to a higher quality with fewer resources, and that is going to be very challenging. And while Minnetonka has done the right things to avoid problems up to this point, we're going to have to continue to tighten our belt, We're going to have to continue to seek more students to try to help the revenue part of our picture. And we're off to a great start for the 2010-2011 school year. We have another record enrollment. Our students are prepared to do even better than they did last year, and so we think we're going to have another phenomenal year.